About a month ago, I had to make a really tough decision to block 1 week in a super busy period, actually 1 week that was going to turn into 3, to work on a potential long-term project. I'm really glad I did. Bonjour, this is Cyril from Work Smarter Better. In this video, I want to share 4 words that actually really changed the way I think, the way I focus, the way I manage my time, and probably the way I live. I work with leaders of medium to large company, and I see all the time that they're struggling between what's urgent or the noise and what's important. No later than this morning, I was on a call with the leader of a very large business, and she was telling me about how her team is really struggling, bombarded with messages all the time, meeting all the time, urgent requests, and no time to think, no time to clarify what's really important and work on them. And I have to admit, I am exactly the same. I'm struggling. I am in the middle of a really busy period, and I'm not complaining. It's amazing, but lots on. And I had to make a decision a month ago because I was asked to come to the US to a conference to learn things, but more importantly, to work on a book that I'm intent to release in more than a year time. And it's maybe long-term it will have an impact, but oh my God, before I see any impact of that, there's going to be a lot of time, a lot of work, and there's so many more urgent things to do. And then on top of that, while I was I was planning my trip to the US, and ideally, I don't go all the way to the US without dropping to France to see your French family, and to the Netherlands to see Cameron where he plays football. And so the 2 or 3 days to work with a publisher turned into a week in the US and 3 weeks overall. And so it was a real struggle on the business side, because the 4 words that I have constantly in the back of my mind are what impact long term? What are the things that really going to have an impact long term? And I choose every quarter what I call my big rocks based on those 4 words, what impact long term. And it's really hard because, well, you take a gamble. Whenever you choose a big rock, you think it's going to have an impact long term. You think that's going to have the most impact long term, but not sure. You know the urgent request you know that it's due by tomorrow, but the long-term impact, it's a real gamble. And so I'm taking a gamble, whether this time in the US with working with this publisher and also working with those entrepreneurs, among which quite a few had published bestseller book, was a great use of my time. Now, impact long-term, going to France to see my French family and going to Holland to see Cameron, that was easy, to be honest with you. That's a really impact long-term. But it's not easy. All the time you have to take gambles. But those 4 words have completely redefined the way I choose my key projects, my big rocks, the way I prioritize my time, the way I protect my time. And it's really hard on a quarterly basis, on a weekly basis, on a daily basis, it's really hard. But that has made a huge difference. So it's not a question that I have for you, it's more a mindset. I really want you going forward. My high suggestion is keep those 4 words constantly in the back of your mind. What impact long term? Now I'm gonna I'm doing some shopping, and I'm just outside Paris in this lovely little city called Saint-Germain-en-Laye. And then we're going to a nice restaurant after with my French family. I'm really looking forward. And then on Monday, I'm in a train to go and see Cameron. You have a lovely day. À bientôt.